Well, from the minute Joe Biden and Kamala Harris got to the White House, there's been threats to Americans. Iran and its proxies have attacked our troops over 100 times, and we've barely ever struck back. There's been continued attacks on us. Again, just like we should support Israel in striking back against these terrorists, we should be striking back harder again. But that's not Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's policy. From the very beginning, they've appeased and conciliated the Ayatollahs. Kamala Harris, for instance, opposed Donald Trump's strike that killed Iran's terrorist mastermind in 2020. Over the last 4 years, they've given away tens of billions of dollars in sanctions relief. They've looked the other way as Iran violates sanctions. They've continually put more pressure on Israel than they put on Iran's terrorist proxy. That's why Kamala Harris is the Ayatollah's hand-picked candidate, and why the Ayatollahs are hacking into Donald Trump's campaign and trying to kill him.
Turning to Ukraine, you're close to Trump and this process.
Well, he hasn't been specific, and I think that's for a reason. One, he doesn't know what the world is going to look like in another 3 months when he takes office. He doesn't know how much more Joe Biden and Kamala Harris might screw things up. But here's what we do know. This never would have happened on Donald Trump's watch because it didn't happen on Donald Trump's watch. Vladimir Putin has invaded Ukraine twice, both times with Joe Biden in the White House. First as Barack Obama's understudy, second with Kamala Harris in the White House with him. That came just a few months after the disastrous collapse in Afghanistan. Those things are not unrelated. When you project weakness, as Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have, and you suggest to your enemies that they can push you around and walk all over you, you get the kind of conflicts we see in Europe and that we see in Israel, and you get the chaos we see at our southern border. Bob, the administration just acknowledged.
I know, but Ukraine for a second. Just pause on this for a second, Senator. Demilitarized zone as a part of a potential peace deal between Ukraine and Russia.
The details do matter, but Donald Trump has said he's not going to negotiate against himself or against Ukraine in advance. Once he takes office, that's the time to start hammering out the details in private and to make sure that something like this can't happen again, which didn't happen when he was president after the first invasion of Ukraine. But again, I just want to say the chaos that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have unleashed across this world isn't limited to the other side of the world. It happens right here. The administration just acknowledged that they released more than 13,000 convicted murderers who illegally entered this country, more than 15,000 convicted sex offenders. That's 28,000 rapists and murderers who illegally entered our country, who Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have let roam our streets. That's the kind of chaos that they have unleashed for the last 4 years and that Donald Trump will put an end to. Well, I think they deserve to hear a lot more from Kamala Harris because she's been lying to them for the last 3 months. If you look at her record, she's been trying to run away from it from the very moment she took the nomination from Joe Biden. She wants to ban gas-powered cars. She wants to give reparations based on race. She wants to ban fracking. She wants to take away private health insurance on the job. These are not positions that she took as a teenager in high school. These are positions she took as a 54-year-old woman running for president in her own right. That's the true Kamala Harris, a weak, dangerous San Francisco liberal. Kamala Harris is the one who owes the American people a lot more answers. Donald Trump can simply point at his record and say, for 4 years, when I was president, we had peace, prosperity, a secure border, and we were respected around the world. That's what the American people remember. That's what they're going to get when they elect him again to the White House.
But should Trump debate again?
He's already debated twice.
Okay.
And JD is going to debate Tim, and he's going to do a great job telling his story and pointing out what a radical record Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have. The American people know what Donald Trump will do in office. Kamala Harris is still trying to fool them.